The year is 1945. The once mighty Third Reich is crumbling. Allied forces are closing in on Berlin from all sides. Deep beneath the city, in the confines of his underground bunker, Adolf Hitler faces his demise. The Führer's health, both physical and mental, is rapidly deteriorating. His dreams of a 1,000-year Reich are shattered. The reality of his impending defeat weighs heavily. The atmosphere within the bunker is tense, a mixture of fear and fanaticism. Hitler, once a figure of absolute authority, now appears a broken man. He holds court with his inner circle, making desperate plans and issuing futile orders. But the writing is on the wall. The Red Army is at the gates. As the days dwindle, Hitler's grip on reality seems to loosen. He oscillates between fits of rage and moments of despair. The man who once held the world in terror is now a prisoner in his own bunker, haunted by the ghosts of his own making. The world outside is a maelstrom of fire and destruction, but inside the bunker, a different kind of storm is brewing. A storm of fear, desperation, and the chilling realization that the end is near. The widely accepted account of Hitler's demise paints a picture of self-inflicted death amidst the chaos of a collapsing regime. On April 30th, 1945, as Soviet forces stormed the heart of Berlin, Hitler retreated to his private quarters, accompanied by his newlywed wife, Eva Braun. They reportedly took their own lives, Hitler by a gunshot to the head, Eva by ingesting cyanide. Their remains were hastily disposed of by SS guards in the Chancellery Garden just outside the bunker. The bodies were doused in gasoline and set ablaze, a desperate attempt to deny the Soviets a trophy and the world confirmation of their demise. This account, based largely on eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence, has been the accepted narrative for decades. However, the lack of concrete physical evidence, coupled with the chaotic circumstances surrounding Hitler's death, has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. Some argue that the bodies burned in the garden were not those of Hitler and Braun, but decoys meant to mislead the Soviets. The fall of Berlin was a chaotic and brutal affair, a maelstrom of street fighting, shelling, and desperation. Amidst this chaos, Soviet soldiers, many of them teenagers, stumbled upon the remnants of Hitler's final stand. Their accounts, often fragmented and contradictory, provide a glimpse into the surreal atmosphere of those final days. One soldier, Ivan Maslenikov, described entering the bunker in the immediate aftermath of the battle. He spoke of a suffocating smell of explosives and burnt flesh. He recalled seeing a charred patch of ground in the garden, the alleged site of Hitler's cremation. Another soldier, Yuri Kogin, recalled seeing a partially burnt corpse lying near the bunker entrance. He vividly remembered the shock on his comrades' faces when they realized who it might be. Their testimonies, though harrowing, offer a chillingly human perspective on a pivotal moment in history. These were young men caught in the throes of war, thrust into a situation few could comprehend. Their accounts, while sometimes differing in detail, paint a consistent picture of chaos, confusion, and the undeniable sense that something momentous had occurred. In the aftermath of the war, with Berlin in ruins and the world still reeling from the horrors of the Nazi regime, the task of investigating Hitler's death fell to the Soviet S-Mersh, the counterintelligence agency. Their investigation, shrouded in secrecy, relied heavily on eyewitness accounts, often obtained under duress, and fragmented physical evidence. The Smersh agents meticulously interviewed surviving members of Hitler's inner circle, as well as soldiers and civilians who had been present in the bunker during those final days. They scoured the ruins of the Chancellery Garden, searching for any trace of Hitler and Braun. Their findings, though ultimately inconclusive, formed the basis of the official Soviet narrative of Hitler's death. However, the lack of transparency surrounding the investigation, coupled with the Soviets' own propaganda efforts to portray Hitler as a coward who had taken the easy way out, fueled skepticism about the veracity of their findings. Adding another layer of complexity to the story is the autopsy conducted on the remains believed to be Hitler's. Recovered from the Chancellery Garden by the Soviets, the badly burned remains were subjected to a detailed forensic examination. The findings, while consistent with the official account of a gunshot wound to the head, were far from conclusive. The autopsy report, only partially declassified in the 1970s, described a fragmented skull with a bullet entry wound consistent with a self-inflicted gunshot. However, the lack of a clear exit wound coupled with the condition of the remains, made definitive identification difficult. The dental records, though matching some of Hitler's known dental work, were also not conclusive. The ambiguity surrounding the autopsy results, coupled with the secrecy surrounding the Soviet investigation, left the door open for doubt and speculation. It is this lack of definitive proof that continues to fuel conspiracy theories about Hitler's fate. Tell us what you think happened in the comments. And if you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe.